Hey guys, welcome to Into the Toy Box. It's another Sunday night, and another Sunday night means my co-host, and that is Beta Ray Bob. And let's bring him out. Hey Bob,
Hey, I'm muted.
you're
Sorry about
muted.
that.
You're all
But
good.
hello, all. Hope everybody's having a good weekend and a good Sunday. Thank you for joining
Yes,
us,
yeah, yes.
and I hope. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. I hope everybody's had a good weekend. We got a good one on the show tonight.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and bring him out. So, guys, let's welcome Brett from Aegis Station.
Hey,
Hey, how we doing, everybody? Thanks for coming out.
Hey, thanks for coming on the
thank you for
show.
joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
yeah. How's your weekend been, Brett?
Busy, busy, but it's been good. It's been good. Trying to enjoy the last of the hot summer weather and be down here in the dungeon working.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's definitely hot here. I think it's about 95 here in Arkansas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a nice cold front come through from all that bad rain up north, but it's starting to pick back up like 90s all this week. So
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We I think after this week, I think it'll start getting back into the low 90s, maybe high 80s, and that'll be great. Um, But anyway, all right. So, Bob, I guess you want to say hello to the people in the chat.
yeah. So let's bring them out. We've got Bjorn here with us, and we
Bjorn,
got Timbo Toys.
we love Bjorn and Timbo.
hey
Oh
team,
yes. We've also got Defiant here
Defiant,
with
what's up,
us.
man?
Jabalong in the
Hey,
Toy
thank you
Studios
for
here
watching
with
the
us.
show, Jabalong. I think he's on the other side of the world right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Speaking of the other side of the world, we've got Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Ian
Hey,
Sweeney.
Ian. Yeah, thanks for joining, man.
And let me scroll down here a little further. We've got Mr. PLM.
Hey, nice. Thank you.
And let's see that.
All right.
Hey, another one from the overseas, Mr. Lord
Hey,
Payne
hey,
here.
Angus.
There he
Hey,
is.
thank
There he
you.
is.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you
And
tuning in.
someone new here, Gordon has
Oh,
joined
that's
us.
Gordon. Hey, buddy.
Hello, Gordon.
Yeah.
All right, well, so we'll go ahead, I guess, and get the show started. We've got Brett here. Now, do you say Aegis or like Aegis Station?
Aegis.
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 Okay, because I
Like
think
like
I
the
say
like
it
the shield. Yeah.
in the southern accent. I pronounce everything different than
Well, that's
from
all
the.
right.
Hey, David. But so I think that I started following you, I guess, a couple of years ago, um, and um, you started eventually making um, I guess I wouldn't say robots, but the 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 pup droids, I guess,
Yep.
with the um, I guess the trees or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
the oxygenation pup droids. Yeah,
yes, that's
the
I think that's some of the first stuff that I saw you made, and I don't think I got in on the very beginning of that stuff. I think it was maybe a couple of seasons went by or something before I was
hmm
like, okay, I got to get this. But great stuff, great stuff. And um, let's see, I'm gonna pull up the stage and start like going through some pictures.
Oh yeah.
And um, this, well, if we can, I guess we'll go ahead and talk about this. Hold on one second. Let me move you.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Um,
okay. Whoops.
okay, hold on.
Now
Let's
I
see
got
here.
it.
Oh, you got it.
Yep. There we go.
Okay.
Oops. Review up. There, I lost it.
Uh,
Hang on.
hold on. Pushing buttons. Pushing buttons. You got it, Bob. I'll let you handle it.
Maybe.
But
Let's see if I can figure this out. Maybe I don't got. Oh, nope. Nope. No, I don't got it. Sorry.
okay. All right. No problem. I'll do this.
Oh, that's a name.
Let me see if I can do this. Hold on. Okay.
There we go. There we
There
go.
we go. All
Awesome.
right. So this is your newest edition, right?
Yep, that's the Block Zor. That is the
Block four.
Infantry Recon Edition. So that's that'll be him here on my screen. But yeah, that's him.
That's awesome.
Oh,
But yeah, that's the new troop builder from me. So fully printed, garage made, but fully articulated, 2 types of weapons, so a fully functional action figure that fits into 3 3/4. It has some cross pollination with 6" if you guys are into that, but if you're not, that's I think most of us world builders aren't, but we can appreciate it. But I'm
Well,
pretty diehard 118, and I wanted to offer something with these guys that a lot of people aren't doing, that are fully articulated, and it's something different.
I think it's great. I
oh
mean,
yeah, I love the retro kind of retro bot look, like
I
from like a
I
old
really
50s
didn't
movie or
know.
something.
I really didn't know how I felt about the color of this one here. Because I was like, I don't know if I really want that color, and I was
No,
like,
it's very GI Joe adjacent.
but it is. But it's like I was
Mm-hmm.
like, man, I do like that color. You know what I'm saying? I think it is a good color. It's not super light green or something like that. You know
Mm-mm.
what I'm saying? It's a muted color, and I like to have like stuff like that. Um,
Right.
yeah, awesome. Uh, so you dropped these this morning on your store, right?
Yes.
How many are left?
Well, they're trickling down. There's definitely some still left in the store, but anybody that's interested, if you have not already placed an order and you place one during the stream or later this evening, I will absolutely tell you there's probably a 5 to 7 day lead time on these. I'm the only guy making these. I work a full-time job. Unfortunately, droid making is not my full-time job, although I wish it was. But there's going to be a bit of a lead time on these. But don't let that dishearten you. If you have questions or anything, reach out. I'm always available. But um, unfortunately, I'm not Amazon. I can't fulfill in 48 hours all the time.
That's
I
right.
try
That's
to.
right.
I mean,
Not yet.
Brian to vouch for me though. I mean, I can get stuff out to him pretty quick though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um,
But
he's not Amazon yet, but
not yet. No.
once he gets everything up and running, he might be.
Yeah, one day we'll see.
Yeah, get a few more printer bots going, and
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, okay, since we're talking about it, I'll go ahead and go to this one. This was the first
Yeah, the
release.
debut.
Yeah.
The atomic prototype. Yeah, these had to be something. I love 1950s sci-fi. I love a lot of
Mhm.
sci-fi and world building before Lucasfilm came and shook everything up. So I think it doesn't get its. I don't think it gets its due. I think a lot of it's fallen by the wayside, and I wanted something that really feels like it crawled off a pulp adventure. Something like Doc Savage would have been fist fighting back in the day. So
Right.
Oh,
this really
Hey,
fits that aesthetic.
this could straight up be in Magnus Robot Fighter.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
yeah.
you know. But yeah, I love these guys. I really didn't know how I was going to feel about this guy until I actually got him in hand, and I was like, this guy's awesome. It's like I was like, he has so much personality that it's like you can pose
Mhm.
him and you can almost make any pose with him, and he just looks so good. And my only problem is like I don't have an unlimited budget, so it's like I've only
Right,
a few here, a few
right.
there, and I'm like, well, I'll take a chance on the green. I'll get the green one this time, and so the green eye one or whatever. I said the red one looks good, but I was like, I think the green eye looks a little bit better for like
Oh
my
yeah,
look,
I mean
But
the green commands attention, and what's nice about that green is, and I didn't telegraph this because I knew people would have gobbled them up, but I like to leave a little mystery with some of my stuff to see there's stuff people can figure out. But that green is UV reactive. That will glow under black light, like it's
yeah,
radioactive. So,
yeah,
which really fit into the theme.
right. I like that.
Very nice.
So I asked you earlier, but I'll ask you again.
Yeah.
What what's your plans with different colorways, or do you have any like plans you want to give out right now, or what?
No, yeah, yeah, absolutely. We'll probably, if anybody's been following me for a while, they know I like doing my, botany. I like my plants with my droids. I like having something out there that's not a, wanton death machine. It seems like the Confederacy of Independent Systems built enough of those and I'm in that field now too, but I'd like to get back to doing some of that. So if you liked any of the fall foliage stuff last year, there's going to be a return to that. Um,
Sweet.
probably late spring of 2025, you'll see these guys will be getting a nice homage to the Arizona green tea again, as always.
Mm.
But before that, I'd like the people that like a maintenance drone or like a worker. You'll probably see something to that effect come in. Maybe some panel lining, maybe something with some kind of hazard stripes. You'll see some new accessories too. They're not always going to be coming with the Nova shot pistol or the laser pulse SMG, but maybe
Right.
some welding equipment, maybe some extra grippy arms to help load, maintain vehicles, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bjorn is definitely on the right track with an ice planet. We might see something from that theme adjacent before. Might not be Blacktron, maybe Entron, but
Oh,
we
that'd
will be
be
covering some homage to the Lego 90s. Absolutely.
nice.
Good deal. All right. So
I like this guy.
you've also have this portal that you
Yes.
recently
Yeah,
brought
the
out.
Nexus Gateway. Yeah.
Yes. I've I've been trying to figure out a good place to put one of those in my world, and so I like the fact that it comes with the green and the blue faces, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely I don't want to say prohibitive size, but it's much larger than people realize when they get it in.
Right.
I mean, this thing is a display piece, but
Well, I
the
mean that's a solid 4-inch figure right there, right? Or a little bit
oh yeah,
taller.
that is the Gator Gara from Action Figure of the Month from Toy Pizza, and that is a firm close to 4.25 inches. I mean, he's a big
Right.
boy. So,
I like that.
and that blue, that's all completely glow in the dark,
Yeah.
printed. So you
Yeah.
charge it under a UV light, and that, or even out in the sun, that thing is going to glow like it's radioactive. Yeah. So there's no light behind that. That is purely glow right there.
Yeah. That's what sort of I was like. Okay, I've got to figure out where I can put this at so I can get it in here. And so I'm like, I'll just have to I'll have to save some more aluminum cans so I can get some money.
Yeah, and if people don't like the marble, I mean, I started doing the marble colorway for the outside of the building. I really wanted something that could play nice with
Right.
fantasy or
Right.
sci-fi because I got a
Yeah.
soft spot for fantasy so bad.
Gotcha.
And that the shape and the color really lend it. Could go either way, but if people want something a little more sci-fi, I'm gonna have some real heavy silvers coming. More space age looking stuff coming. So,
Well,
but
everybody that
Well,
has a space station or something like that, a world has to have a portal to
yeah,
bring in all your new action figures and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
So
absolutely.
that's a good way
so
to do.
got a
Um,
couple of well, hang on before you move
okay.
on from the portal. We got a couple of questions from the audience here.
Yeah.
Defiance asking if these portals are up for pre-order.
I believe there's one on my store currently, and then there will be more in production after the Blockzor.
Mm-hmm.
After all orders are fulfilled for the Recon Blockzor this week and into next week. If that is something you absolutely have to have and it's not on my store, reach out to me. We'll work something out and get a timeline together. I'm flexible. I want people to get this stuff. So, but
Got one
yeah,
more
this
from. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, the backside, to answer Jabalong, the backside's completely flat. No, they're just single portals. They slide in and out, so you'll have two different gateway colors. There's going to be that blue, and there's a clear green, and they just slide in and out from the top, kind of like a picture frame.
Yeah, the glow in the dark is cool.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It
Mhm.
turned out really great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wanted a way for these to kind of, people that are into the station building and they're, tight with me. It's a way for everybody can, in their own universe lore, it's a way for stuff to, stay connected and a gateway between realms.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Brett is really good at working with you if you guys need some help with something.
Yep.
Um,
And Timbo
I
agrees.
appreciate that. I try to be. There's nothing worse than getting an obtrusive person that has stuff that you want to buy from them and they make it difficult. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
So I hate that part of customer service with people, so I try to make it easy.
I pulled this off. I pulled all these pics off your Instagram, but what is
Yeah.
this guy?
So
Um,
that was
okay.
one of the prototypes for my the joint system. It was really just a big tolerance test, but that is my kind of like Power Rangers Common Rider style bug hero. But
Nice.
he's
Oh, yeah, I was gonna
he's a
say he's got.
he's like a little 3 3/4 inch style robot. But yeah, he's in storage right now. He's not on the station. He's out and about. But yeah, these guys are a lot of fun. I don't know if there is a demand for something like these. It was kind of just more like a love letter project from into
Yes.
prototype.
This guy right here. This guy right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I do love me some Common Rider.
all right, well, I'll keep that in mind. But I really like these guys. They're a lot of fun. But as I was evolving the joint system and I was really getting into the engineering and seeing what could be done, it was like this was the building block that Block Zor stemmed from, and then I took that and just ran with it because people love articulation. I'm
Mhm.
like the old boomer, and I'm 31, but I love having my 5 POA, and a lot of people hate it. And I respect that, but this stuff will come around. This guy, he'll make a debut maybe around Christmas, but we'll see.
Gotcha. All right. All right.
And there's the old guard there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think these might have this I think this might have been the first one I saw. And I was like, man, I said that looks pretty cool. And it's like it's such a unique design,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, I
because
love these guys. It's brilliant doing like the kind of mobile robo potted plant sort
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
It's like a way, like if stations, like Empire Toy Works, a great example. His stuff's built into an asteroid. Well, what's the oxygen like there? How are these guys breathing if they're not in a spacesuit? If the stormtrooper takes his helmet off, how's he not getting she's not choking to death without air? So this was kind of like a fun way to, explain that in universe for, just fun world building.
sure it's yeah. Hey,
And like I said before, it's just there's constantly, any droid you buy has a damn gun with it. But how many droids do you buy that has a plant growing out of it or has a real eye?
Mhm.
right. Yeah, I love the design of the pup droids.
Oh,
I,
thank you.
yeah, to me, it's a really good design, and like I said, because I love to have my world is not so much always fighting or violence or some kind of massive story. Sometimes it's just the guys on the way to work or doing the work on the job. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I
Mhm.
like to have a reflection of that in whatever I can. And so I think any kind of like helper bots or whatever things that'll just look like they go there, it's like to me that's it's perfect for me, and clearly other people feel the same way about it too because I see them all over Instagram.
Oh yeah.
You
I mean, those were what I took with me to not that specific colorway, but my first debut in person, my first live show at Toy Pizza Con last year in Beacon, New York. I debuted a bunch of pup droids there, and it was a massive success, thank God. But I figured who's going to buy a bunch of these little things, but they start spawning like rabbits now, and people can't get enough of them. But
well,
yeah,
you're
that
the
Well,
you're the
besides just the functional oxygen thing, they just look nice. It's just a
yeah they
nice way
do.
to
oh,
like add
they're
some
very
decoration to
aesthetically
your
pleasing.
station.
Yeah.
So do they call you the robot tree guy there, or what do they
Oh
call you?
yeah, they're like, or they'll be like, "Who's the guy with his tree robots?" Yeah, there'll
Right,
be a lot
right,
of that. So, well,
gotcha.
this past year it was like, "Who's the guy with
Oh,
the all those big one-eyed monsters?" So that
Oh,
was that was some of these the
yes,
ooze
oh
clops.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah, those are awesome. We'll see some of those on some
yeah.
pics too, because I try to take a broad spectrum of screen grabs. This was so you had two of the big ones here were like updated versions of the pup droid,
Yeah, so
right?
the little one was like the V1.5, and this was me. This was when I started transitioning out of doing resin printing, and we were moving into filament, because I wanted to start doing stuff that would have been a little more structurally sound, didn't need paint, because paint shipping can be a thing and it's frustrating and people don't like it.
Right.
And I wanted another way to less paint work for me. Not that I don't mind it. I mean, Brian has plenty of my painted stuff, and my customs speak for themselves, I think. But
Oh yeah.
when we get into this bigger stuff, I want something that can keep costs down, because I don't want to, rip people off for what they're getting. And I
Right.
want everybody to be able to afford something that I offer. There's a lot of makers out there, and the grand poobah of them all, he charges an arm and a leg for some of his stuff. So I think world building and collecting should be for everybody, and I don't think they should be hindered by a price tag, especially if I'm making it. We can have a conversation. So this was my way of gauging how I can keep stuff affordable for people while offering a larger product.
Well, I don't have any of the updated pup droids yet, but I will definitely they're on my list to get. So
Well, now that we've entered into the realm of articulation, we very well may be seeing a version 3.0 with these guys, and they might start walking around themselves. So keep an eye peeled
okay.
for that.
All right, all right. Um,
And
yeah,
yeah, there they
more.
are. There's the whole herd of them.
Yeah. I like
Beautiful.
that. I think that might have been. I think that might have been the wave. I think I got a couple of them from because
Oh
that's the
yeah,
because I have two of those.
that's the very first oxygenation
Yeah,
wave. The
I,
bonsai boys.
yeah,
Oh,
I like
nice.
it a lot. Yeah, yeah. If those ever come back, I'll definitely snatch a couple of those.
They'll make a return. They'll be full printed plastic. There'll be no
Right.
paint like that, but they will be a bronze probably.
Yeah. Those look awesome.
Thank you.
Also, okay. Well, I guess we'll go to the Treadbot.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if
Is
that's the one that I've got or not, but I do
That
have a
is that
green.
is absolutely that was the one you commissioned. Yeah, that was to
Okay.
match the Yamato military for
Yes.
acid rain.
Yes. Yeah. I've got one of those, and um. So I'll just ask, what about you think this guy might make a return at some point in time?
Yeah, I've had a few trickle out in plastic, in full plastic. There's been a few of those circling around. Some they go quick though. I haven't done a whole lot of them, but they've
Right.
I transitioned them. They're a two-piece print now, so the tire is going to be separate rubber or plastic, and then you'll get full color top. But um, yeah, that one had an ice planet homage. I
Hey,
think
Joel.
I did one of those. I'm not sure. Maybe oh, I think Toy Domination might have picked that up.
That sounds about right.
That
Because I know he
sounds right.
grabbed. I was gonna say I know he grabbed some stuff from you. Because he was showing it off on the stream.
Yeah, that sounds
A
right.
mm,
Yeah,
little while
but that I mean
back.
that was a good while ago. But yeah, that would have been from last summer, I think, when I did that
Yeah.
one for you, Brian.
All right. Yeah, I like that. I still have him. He's in my station.
Oh, look
Currently,
at
actually,
this.
a few of them. I was gonna take a bunch of pictures of the other day and put them all together, but I was like, I'm actually running out of room for some of these guys. The
I like this little
Catclops.
guy.
Catclops. I think Brian probably has the highest collection of Catclops from me. But yeah, he's got something from every era of them. You know, he's got all the exclusives. But yeah, that was like my attempt on it at an astromech droid. Like, what does an astromech mixed with a house cat look like? And that's
There
it.
you go.
So
I've
Looks
got one of
good.
the smaller ones. The one that was I guess half the size of that one. That had the orange eyes for like the
yes.
Halloween. Yeah, I like that one too. I like all of them, man. I just think the stuff is like, it's just like a perfect fit for like my world. You know, I don't know
Oh,
how everybody
absolutely.
else feels about it, but I feel like for me, it's like all that stuff. You know, it can live and breathe. You know, in Yamato sticks. You know.
Oh, absolutely. And I wanted
Uh,
something again. This goes back to my love of some random droid you see in the background for 30 seconds. And it's like, what the hell was that thing? And it's not
Hmm.
violent. It's not killing anybody. It's not stomping on some dude for breaking the law. It's just some weird robot rolling around. And that's what I really wanted with these.
yeah,
Oh,
a
yeah.
weird
I
and
think you
cool.
have hit the nail on the head here.
Yeah,
These are
weird is
very cool.
all right.
Oh,
And
Now
love
now we
these.
move on to drinking, everyone's favorite activity.
Yeah.
you go. There you go. The vending bot has seen a few different yes iterations, I guess, from the original.
Yeah.
Um, to me, it's like I like the fact that um, I don't know, man. It's just to me, like I said, this stuff just kind of speaks to me because it's like, it fits. It fits. I don't want to be repetitive, but it does. It's like it can definitely fit in any kind of sci-fi, world or anything like that. It's just anyway, it's awesome. You know,
Oh yeah. I
um,
mean, these are something that right. This looks like it could have been in the back of a sandcrawler with 3PO and R2 in the beginning of A New Hope, or something like this. It looks like it crawled out of Blade Runner, right,
there
with
you
all the
go.
neon and
Yeah,
everything.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
and then that's an older one you have up there. But these
Yes,
newest ones, they have a carborundum and titanium milling burr for the antenna. So
yeah,
you're getting some
yeah.
metal in there too.
This
But
is
there's Brian's. There's Old
this
Faithful.
is basically this is the last one I got from you right
Yeah.
here. You see how the colors
Oh
sort of
yeah.
reflect off that printing. I like that.
Cosmic Grape turned out really nice, I think.
Yes. This is probably my favorite one that I've got from you.
I would say it was my favorite one to make.
It's because it's my colors, and it's pretty much, I guess I could say my icon or logo or whatever. And so so that's my favorite. Even though it's not my first one I got, but it's definitely, I think, my favorite of all your stuff that I've got.
Oh, he's got a lot of personality.
Yeah, I love that guy. The blue one was the first one I got, and to me, like I said, it's if you go to my Instagram, you look at the very top, you'll see it's right there. It was, I don't know if it's the first one you ever made, but it's the first one I got from you, and so it's, like I said, it's a fantastic work. So.
Yeah, I think the blue one, that's when I was still running them in resin. That was absolutely the first one I did.
Yeah,
that was mine. That was the prototype.
Show people, this is basically, well, let me okay, there you go.
There we
go. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
nice.
Let's see. Oh, okay, so these were the what do you call these guys? The
these are the star maps. The star maps,
right? Star maps.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they glow in the dark too, right?
Yes. So those were my homage to, my beloved era of Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic with Revan and the whole story of him running around trying to track down all the star maps. And I figured, what better way to homage my beloved point in time in that franchise than put some maps on the back of my droids, and here we are. So.
Yep. I've got one. I think I've got one or two of those somewhere around here.
I think that is the version 1 pup droid body and chassis, and I think that was the sunset of that mold.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So no more. You figure you're done with resin potentially?
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm done. I mean, anything can come and go, but I'm a parent now. I had a son 2 years ago, so I like.
Time is a factor, right?
What's that?
Time is a factor.
Oh, time's a huge factor, sure. But becoming a parent and him getting a hold of some of my stuff and seeing how fragile resin could be, I was like, stuff does break. It can be fiddly. I wanted to really see how full plastic works out for people, because I really got into the mindset of playability over just set dressing pieces. I want stuff that people pick up and tinker with, and that's kind of how I started moving forward with my train of thought. But resin can definitely still make a comeback, and I wouldn't say I'm done with it. I still have all the equipment for it and everything, but I've been on the filament ride. Love doing the full plastics.
Hey, I'm just kind of curious. Why don't the chat? Why don't you basically, if you got something of Brett's, why don't you let us know in the chat? I know. I know you've probably, I guess, have you been selling stuff for like 2 years maybe, or?
Yeah, beginning of March 2 years ago would have been the first full droid sale.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, there's the Jetta homage, the crystal droids. Yeah, so that's
okay.
I wanted my take on an ancient Old Republic droid in a time period where Jedi couldn't get there in Kyber, so the droids grew it themselves.
How many? Let me just ask you this: how many pieces do you think you've made at this point in time?
Oh, and like individual droids total?
Yes.
Well,
is it McDonald's? Is it McDonald's level over 1 billion sold?
I would say we're probably like well over 200 produced and sold.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds about right if I had to guesstimate. But yeah, we're probably with block swords.
That is a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's really funny that you show some of this stuff, because you're showing me things I totally forgot I even made and distributed.
Well, I took a deep dive down the Instagram, and I had forgotten about some of these things too until, because we're all prisoners of the moment, and we're all
absolutely.
About now and our cool new toys here and there. But it's like, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. I got one of those. I was like, oh yeah, this guy too. Yeah, and so fun to go back and see some of the earlier stuff, man. Because it all adds up to what you are doing now. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see here. Let's go to the next one. Okay, even because you even had these drinks. That was that was one of the first things I got. I think with the vending bot, I think was some of these, and
Yeah,
so
back when I was doing drinkware. Yeah, this was my wife and I. When we got married, we went down to Galaxy's Edge for our honeymoon. Big surprise, and I absolutely adored how they were distributing drinks and those little thermal detonator style canteens. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? I'm gonna model some up. I'm gonna flat bottom them so they don't roll around, and they're gonna be full resin. They're glossed. So they look like they're glass, but they're such an obtuse shape. 118 struggles to hold that. So I put the little handle on the side. I think it worked out pretty swimmingly for
oh yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
it
I
does.
uh, I really like doing these. I don't know that they're going to come back in resin form, but if you like any of the joint colors that Block Zors had, these might come back in a flexi rubber so they can kind of swish nice in the figure's hands.
Well, yeah, we need drinks. Our people need to be able to drink.
Well, and I heard there's a cantina coming, so maybe Hasbro's not going to have enough drinkware for everybody.
Yeah,
Well, so we
Uh,
got
to
a
answer
question
to
here
answer that
from
question, no, I don't keep one of everything made. I have about one of every mold, but as far as variants go, no, I don't have the entire. I don't collect my own line, unfortunately.
hmm,
yeah. But speaking of the drinks and stuff,
the man's here.
Oh, hey, dead
Join
man.
us.
hey, dead man, what's up? Speaking of drinks, as I was just saying,
Hmm.
so you are, I guess you could almost be a bartender for your second job, right?
Yeah. I do like some cocktail classes and stuff on the side, and I do some actual I do some bartending on the side under the table once in a while for private events and things. But that's like the other hobby that's not toys. It's just like drinks and cocktails. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you're probably the only person I know that really goes hard with like tiki. You know what I'm saying?
I'm definitely in my tiki phase. Yeah, big into the Mai Tai right now. Yeah, doing a lot of fog cutters. If you ever get a chance to have one of those, very nice, very strange. But yeah, it's been a real treat.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Joel. Yeah, I got a lot. Yeah, no offense, Dead Man. I just was bringing it back around, man. Bringing it back
Yeah,
around. But yeah, I definitely think that these can come back in another form for people because it's like it's
yeah,
been a while since they were made. So
yeah, and they will probably be filament, so they're not going to be that clear glass style, but they're going to be more playable. They'll be
Hmm.
something you're not going to worry about chipping or like the paint will fade or anything like that. I got a plan of how that'll be re-engineered and stuff like that, but it'll definitely be something that the figures can grab onto and mess with. You're not going to worry about breaking it, or you're not going to worry about the figure's hands tearing
right.
or losing a thumb or something like it's toys in the 90s. But um, there's probably going to be, in addition to those, I'm really getting close to tinkering out a new design for some potions, kind of like fantasy stuff.
Right.
Oh, nice.
So we'll probably be seeing some kind of health potions, maybe some mana potions, and something strange, small. It's kind of weird. It's like people are like, "What the hell is this accessory? Like, who needs this?" But I think stuff like that really adds a lot of life to a little scene.
Well, and like
Speaking
bottles
of
of different
fantasy,
colors or in sizes and shapes, just
Oh,
hanging
absolutely.
out
Yeah.
at your bar.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, speaking of fantasy, so you are not only making sci-fi, you've moved into the fantasy section as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I got a big soft spot for the sword and sorcery. I'm a big nerd,
Mm.
like all of us, but I love the idea of being a paladin, swinging a mace at an orc just as much as I do drinking in a cantina with a gun. But yeah, I mean, that's it. There's the use plasm. That's wave
Yeah,
one right there.
yeah. You might have made 200 of those guys, don't you figure?
Oh, well over, well
Yeah,
over. I mean, those things have outproduced any droid I've made, just
yeah.
head and
Oh,
shoulders.
wow.
I've done
Yeah.
hundreds of these damn things.
How many different colorways did you finally finish? How many do you make of different colors? I guess.
If I'll tell you who would know, there's a guy in the chat here, Divine Serp, Brandon. He has the entire run. He has every color made. He bought everything.
Okay.
He loves them. He's a fanatic for it. And you have my eternal thanks, Brandon. Thank you.
Hey, there you
But
go. I've
yeah,
got I got I got four different ones. But
I
it's
probably close to a dozen colorways.
Wow. Now, I'm guessing the green ones here glow in the dark. or do they not?
Those ones do not actually. Those are
Oh,
UV
okay.
reactive. So you hit them with a black light, they look like they glow, but they do not glow in the dark. No.
Yeah, if you put them on, if you have a ring light and you hit them with a certain color, they'll okay.
They flare up.
Yeah.
The blue, I did some blue glow in the dark small ones, and then I had this big one. I've only done a handful of these, but this is the same plastic that the portal's done out of, and that is going to give it that same iridescent blue glow.
Okay.
Classic yellow ooze from D&D. Timbo, get in touch with me. I have yellow. We'll figure something out.
Those are good. And speaking of
Catclops, there they are.
Yeah. I don't have one of these. I should probably be ashamed that I don't. But it's like, you were putting stuff out so quickly.
Oh,
man.
I know. I would describe those releases were manic. I was in a fever pitch pace of getting stuff out. I had no timeline of normal releases. I was just throwing it out. Just go, produce. So, but yeah, these are still around. I think there's a few up in the store right now, but they're these were really well received. This was my project for New York this year in Toy Pizza Expo. But yeah, they have ports in them so you can store weapons. So they can be kind of like your big monster.
I don't know if I put
here. I got one here. I have my demo. So here's like a little kunai knife here, and he has ports all over, so you can just stick it into him. He's like a pin cushion.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice. So you can stick him with the weapon. But this was to complement Jesse DeStasio's of Toy Pizza fame, his Sea of Daggers Kickstarter campaign that successfully funded last year. He had a weapons set that came out alongside it, and he rushed
Put it back up there.
Yeah, sure.
You can see.
Yeah, he rushed that into production early, and I had designed all of these to accept his weapon systems. But yeah, this is just a TMNT Kunai for effect. But yeah, this will store up to 5 weapons on it at once, and you can actually fit a figure in his mouth, just shove him in there. But yeah, just like a gelatinous cube, exactly. This was something like you'd fight in Dragon Quest. It might give you 15 XP, it might drop a few gold or something. But yeah.
Right. I love Dragon Quest. So speaking of the con, this was this from this year?
Yeah, that was the Toy Pizza Expo in Beacon, New York. That was Gordon, who's in the chat with me. I had the privilege to sit up with him and spend the weekend with him working on our fantasy projects. And, we tabled and very rapidly moved through a lot of the product, which was awesome. But yeah, it was a great love letter to fantasy and, Swords and Sorcery toys, because no one's doing them.
Where is that?
And I would add that Gordon he hand drew the lettering for the Oozclops on that.
Oh, so, good deal.
Cool. Yeah.
Good job, Gordon. Where is this at? Where is it located at?
The convention is in Beacon, New York, so it's about an hour north of New York City.
Gotcha.
So it's up on the Hudson River, but it's a beautiful event. If anyone's in the area, I mean, I make it close to an 8-hour drive for it every year, but it's a great event. If you guys are into makers, indie toys, even if you're not into Glios or don't know what that is, it's a great event to go check that out and get involved in indie toys and see, stuff I'm doing, but other toy makers just like me making stuff and, checking out what else is out there besides what's on Amazon or on the pegs at retail.
Right. Well, I definitely picked up. Is it Glios?
Yes, Glios. Yeah.
So I got a few of those. I guess I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago or longer.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of the aliens, the first aliens that they made. I got in on that. Bought a few of them. And I guess I kind of got out of it for a while. And I guess next thing you know, it's like, they have made, action figures pretty much. I guess Knights of the Slice, is that basically the Glios maker?
That is a portion of Glios. So Glios is the name of the peg system that it uses. Okay. But the original founding company is called Onell Design.
That's right.
A guy by the name of Matt Dowdy and Mark Bodette. And, powerhouse makers, guys that have been in the field for decades. These guys have refused buyouts from Mattel and Hasbro, and they've been doing indie toys factory made, tooled, doing all their own hand sculpted designs for ages. But there's, probably about 15 other makers besides him. It might be a little bit under that, but about a dozen, all using the system. They all have their own separate websites and stuff. And Jesse from who runs Knights of the Slice, that is his own portion of the Glyos system and universe. But yeah, and I love his stuff. He's, fantastic guy, kind of like a mentor to me in a lot of ways with the stuff I work on, and I like to get his take on those things. And yeah, that was my my contribution to his stuff.
Awesome. Quick question about Glyos while we're on the topic. Are
Yeah,
they
go
still
ahead.
like 5 POA, or have they increased
Oh no! Oh
the
heavens no!
articulation?
Heavens no. They have different systems you can add on to give more articulation and things like
Oh,
that
okay.
using a system called Axis joints.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not interested in that and you want something more in the line of our articulation, like Star Wars Vintage Collection or Marauders, and you like disc hinge articulation, you check out the Gauss armor from Toy Pizza. It functions and moves around just like an Acid Rain figure would.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so it's kind of
Okay.
it's his homage to everything Metroid or Guyver if you're into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I looked at Glyos like a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
I say a long time ago, it's probably like 10 years or something like
Oh
that.
yeah. I
But
mean, Matt's been doing it. I think this was his 17th or 18th anniversary.
yeah, and when I saw it back then, it all looked like it was just 5 POA, like really cool designs and
Oh
like
yeah.
character
Yeah, they're
designs and
meant to be like
whatnot.
pocket
But
figures. Yeah.
mm-hmm. But
Yeah,
yeah, I do
probably
like a little bit more.
I don't have them laying around, but anyway. So this is your avatar, right?
Yeah, that is my sci-fi avatar. That's Burt Calhoun.
Yeah.
That's me in an alternate universe making cocktails and gun running in space.
What ship is that?
That was I got the idea. I think it's Playworld 808 on Instagram. I believe that's who I siphoned the idea from. But that is an old Sentinel. Um, from Chat May makes that, and it was like a cargo aircraft carrier, and that was my budget Razor Crest that I made. I found all that stuff at a Goodwill, and then I threw some Sebulba Pod Racer engines on the top of it after I cut the wings, and that was kind of like his clunk. He was like, oh, I'm a big fan of the Razor Crest, so I'll make this clunker to fly around and smuggle with. And I threw some lights in it, and yeah. But it lended some very dynamic shots.
Oh yeah, those some good shots. That's a great shot right there. By the way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Have we? Bob, I haven't paid attention, but I guess we caught up on the chat.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
I'm keeping us up to date. Yeah.
So,
oh, guys,
you like to collect I say collect. You get a lot of these guys from. I would say, what are you in the figure of the month?
Yeah, I used to be. I'm not a figure of the month anymore through Toy Pizza, but I'm still part of his Patreon. And if anybody's interested in seeing how a toy maker makes the secret sauce and handles production in China, spend the $5 a month. Give that man a follow. He is an absolute wizard. But yeah, this is from Jesse on Patreon. His Toy Pizza line, Knights of the Slice, and that's a Glyos figure. But that's my little kit bashed homage to Hell Divers when everybody was spreading democracy over the summer.
I'll when I see these figures, I'm like, man, that's a cool ass figure. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's like I just don't ever really think about it. I don't like really think about going. I mean, I follow them on Instagram or whatever, but it's like it's hard for me sometimes, pull the trigger on one just because I'm sometimes just not thinking about it or whatever.
Sure.
Anyway, but
and I understand with his stuff, price can be prohibitive for what you're getting. You're getting essentially what's Kenner articulation plus. You're getting swivel boots and wrists and stuff. But suffice to say that this is probably the lowest run toy line you can collect.
Right.
And this stuff does appreciate on the secondary market if that's how people are into collecting. Hasbro runs hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of certain molds, especially back in the day. These, low 200s if you're lucky. Very hard to come by, and when you miss it, They can be hard to find if you're not linked into the community. But but you know who you're talking to when you buy this stuff. You buy from Hasbro or the big companies. You don't know who made this. You don't know who designed it. They don't care who designed it. They could very well fire that guy in 2 weeks. You can have a conversation with the person making this stuff.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like the designs of a lot of these figures, and it's like I said, it's always cool because I love the different colors they use and stuff like that. It's just something that I'm almost having to like sometimes just train my brain to remember. Hey, there's other companies out there besides Hasbro. You know what I'm saying?
Or even Acid Rain. Like I got into this through Acid Rain. Which example here is how this guy here, that was one of my first Acid Rain figures. But yeah, I mean, I love the line. I love everything Kit Lau's done with it. It is so fun. It's so unique and so different. But again, it's become very cost prohibitive.
They are expensive. I think we've
but everyone's established that. Like I'm just viewing it the air, right?
And it's a niche or whatever. I mean, it's like it's not for everybody, but it's I definitely love the stuff because
I do too. It's so fun. It's so engaging, and it's you can really enjoy just getting your hands on it, playing with it, tinkering with it, chair side. It is so entertaining.
Yeah, and I really like
the annex stuff that he's done.
I went, like I said, I think this was one of your first. I think this might have been your first.
I think that very well could have been. That was shot on. I have fake fireplace logs, and that's what that was.
Look good, man. As like the picture on Instagram looks a lot better than it does on the screen right here. But
sure, not bad for an iPhone 6.
You got me into the Acid Rain chat that we're in because
great group of guys over there.
I was getting into some Acid Rain figures, and he's like, "Hey, there's a chat that a few of us collect Acid Rain figures." And so anyway, so I love the fact that not everybody has Acid Rain stuff, but usually somebody who does, or that it's like Bob. I know you got tons of them. I
don't know about tons, but yeah. So I've seen pictures online that where people are like army building them, but it's like
we got guys
usually folks over in Asia.
We get a few guys in the chat that are American, and they have if their house catches fire, that's probably what they're grabbing. That tote.
Especially Sig from
Sig.
What his channel's name is We Talk TV or something like that.
But,
yeah. He's customized a lot of his Marines into like the G.I. Joe.
They're great.
Mm-hmm.
And so that'd be the first thing he grabs is he's grabbing all that as he's running out of the house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it just takes one good Acid Rain figure, to make you really, love that. I mean,
because once you get. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's how I was. The Flame Trooper there from the Omega. That was my first one, and I was like, this is pretty slick. And then I ended up picking up the sniper it's the 4-piece team Mirage, Parhelion,
I know,
and Aurora. I can't remember their actual name, but yeah, I picked them up, and then. Well, it's funny. I remember the character names, but I can't remember the team name. The Phantom Team. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I picked them up, and I was like, "This is pretty strange. I'm into this." And then I got the Field Vanguard, and I was like, "All right, I get it. This is my new favorite toy line. Got it. Cool."
Yeah. The Field Vanguard. That was the guy who was like in blue, right?
Yeah, he had the beady eyes and the rebreather.
Yeah, that was my first one I got.
Oh, what a fantastic what a start, Brian.
Yeah, at like $30-something or something like that.
Holy Christ! Could you imagine?
Yeah, I know, man. And the thing was, I remember when Acid Rain was out, and it's like I knew about them, but it's like I wasn't really collecting 4-inch figures at the time. Not as far as like I wasn't world building or anything like that. And so I probably had them in my cart on Big Bad Toy Store I don't know, multiple times, and it's like I was like, man, that's a lot of money for an action figure. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh,
mean,
it's a shit ton. Oh, it's a
was
shit
like,
ton.
I was like, man, I just don't know if I want to spend that kind of money on an action figure. And then one day, I guess I must have just said F it, and I pressed the button and got it. And when it got here, I was like, this thing is awesome. It had like I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weapons, and almost everything on him you could take off and take it off if you want to and whatever. And I was like, yeah, I think it had its hooks in me right then, especially.
Oh yeah.
Because I got Detective Smith right after that, and it was over at one time. So I was like, oh yeah, this guy is made for world building.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that was what transitioned me into Glios, because that was the partnership with Knights of the Slice and Glios and Kit Lau, and and then he's got the cowboy armor on his Toy Pizza stuff. That's now that's no longer being produced, but yeah, that's how I got involved with that.
Yeah, that was cool. I want to say okay. Oh, by the also,
speak of the devil, there I am.
Who else has a figure named or made after him? Okay, First Mate Barnacle. There you go.
That is
right here.
There I am. I'm not actually that tan. I got some sun this weekend, but nothing like that. Jesse got the complexion all wrong. But no, that was quite the high watermark for me to be, immortalized in PVC, and to get to set sail with Captain Portis, the captain of that team, and get ready to usher in the new pirate themed toys he has coming. That was quite the honor and privilege. So
yeah, and to the chat, if any of you guys get a toy made after you, I'll buy it too, just so you know. But just it's hard work, man. It's like it's a lot of hard work for that to happen. But yeah, so that's my first figure of, I guess, that format of the Glios.
Yeah. Well, and let it be known, the little scarf piece, not the one pictured there, that's the pizza armor, but the scarf piece that he comes with, it might be on yours.
Yeah, I put it on there because I think it's a
there
little
he
better.
is. Gordon in the chat actually sculpted that. So Gordon is a factory produced item coming out of a factory in China. So congrats to Gordon.
So do all of them come with the little I'm sorry, the
pizza slicer. Just that mold. That mold is called the Classic Knight. So yeah, they will come with the pizza slicer.
Yes. Awesome figure. I like to try to get as many different toy lines as I can. So that's the first one I got. So if I don't get any more, just remember I got your figure.
Well, hey, that's high praise, Brian, and I appreciate that.
But I thought that was cool. That was so cool because you
could imagine my surprise when he sent me the link for it with the store name.
Well known enough to those guys to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it
was quite the shock. Because this wasn't something that was predetermined. He just said, "Oh, by the way, you've been immortalized," and then sent me the link for it. So it wasn't something like, "Oh, hey, by the way, do you want to do this?" It was just done.
Right.
So,
that's how making toys should be. You know what I'm saying?
So fun. Yeah.
Speaking of fun toys.
Yeah, here we go. This is the next big project that's going to be hopefully coming this fall. This is sculpted by Gordon, who's in the chat, Vladimir the Badimir. If anybody has any questions about that, I'll send you some info on him. But this is the Lie Horse. So this is the joint project Gordon and I have been painstakingly working on. Gordon more than me, but this is fully sculpted by Gordon digitally. This is going to be a 4POA dinosaur, but not a dinosaur. It's called a Lie Horse. This is the means of transportation that exists in Jesse DeStasio's comic, The Jagged Age. The Jagged Age is a fantasy realm set up that runs adjacent to his Toy Pizza stuff. So there's a saddle there that was designed by David White, aka Mechazone. He's done a lot of toy designs. Chances are you own something that's been done by him. But Gordon has designed all of this. We are using David's saddle system, and I'm producing these. And these are going to be the fantasy mount that will run congruent with Jesse's toy line that's coming this fall with his fantasy debut of more stuff.
Gordon, does he have an Instagram account?
Yes, it is Vladimir the Badimir.
Oh, okay. I think I follow him. Okay.
Yeah, he's a great follow. But yeah, we're going to be doing a run of these. So we'll see that. But yeah, we're breaking ground with Jesse's blessing, of course. But these will be breaking ground sometime this fall is when we'd like to debut them. There he is. Yeah, Gordon's in the chat.
Yep.
But yeah, this will be the first mount we're producing for 1/18 scale toys. So you're going to have something to ride around on that can hang out with your dewback or your tauntaun.
Very cool.
Okay, I guess I did not. I'm following you now, Gordon. So just I'll have to take a look at all the stuff. I've only been on Instagram for 3 years, but
Right.
I still, there's a untouched world of people that are on there that I probably don't know or follow just because I haven't come across them yet or whatever. But I will say this: I like that mountain right there because honestly, whether it's fantasy or not, you could
Oh
definitely
yes.
Star Wars, man.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you could very well see a Jedi Knight riding this just as much as the Mandalorian trotting along on this thing. If this thing could be on the same planet the Blurg's at. So
Right,
Oh,
right.
this thing has a lot of options, and the saddle is going to be it's fully removable. The little clasps on the side there that are they're add-on printed items that can be affixed underneath with a rubber band or a hair tie. Yeah.
Oh yes, I
So
know.
okay.
it's removable. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Nice.
designed by Mechazone, who he used to be a fantastic 3D printer. He'd make his own toys, and he would, much like I do. He's a great inspiration for me. But he is fully on the payroll of Super 7 now, designing a lot of their ultimates and reaction figures. So
Curious. Will there? I guess if this thing is pretty successful, I guess will there be any different colorways of this guy?
This will be the debut colors, this two-tone green and brown. We really wanted to have a colorway that looked similar to what you would see in some of those old bootleg style $1 dinosaur toys when we were all growing up. You'd grab and find one in like the dollar bin that looked kind of weird. But yeah, we'll probably be looking at some different colors. Yeah, Gordon's got the link there for Mechazone if anyone's interested in the chat. But yeah, we're probably looking at one or two other colors. That's something we're going to iron out and all of that stuff. But yeah, they do bite. They're vicious. Um, but yeah, we'll probably see at least two other colors besides this. Yeah, this is a fully printed item. This is going to be Gorilla. This will be something him and I are doing on the side. For Jesse to tool this and produce this in China would be, close to, I would assume, $100,000 in tooling alone before plastic shot.
Goodness.
So this is something we're doing with his blessing. This has all been cleared with Jesse. But yeah, that's going to be something that I'm producing, probably through. It could maybe through Gordon is selling it, maybe I'm selling it. We haven't hashed that out yet, but we'll be both. This is a joint effort that it's but just as much his project. He's the designer. He's the one who did all this stuff. I'm just producing the thing.
I forgot again because I'm in the area sometimes. When do you think these might be rolling out?
Sometime this fall.
Okay.
Probably sometime. We'll see the first few, and I don't think this is going to be like there's 50 in the shop. There might be 2 or 3 that trickle in, but I don't want to give any firm hard details right now. I got to get through the Block Zor debut waves and stuff first. But if anybody wants one of these, we want to make sure people can get them.
Okay. Yeah, that's looks really good. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm down for that.
Well, full props to Gordon. Gordon is a wizard of a designer. He's a gift.
And I don't know if any of this can be said or anything, but is there any other potential creatures that he's working on or anything like that?
I would defer all questions about creations to Gordon, but if you're interested in some of the stuff Gordon's working on, I actually do have one of his pieces here. This is his goblin for his fantasy realm that he's sculpted. So these are resin produced figures by Gordon, painted by him. So if you're into fantasy and you want some nice creatures to hang out with, Gordon also, I don't have him on me. I might have him on me. Let's take a look and see. Where is the cursed armor? I don't have him around right now. I'm sorry. But Gordon actually has some fantastic sculpts with his cursed armor and another character by the name of Mantessa. I don't have any of them on hand. Oh, you know what? Hang on one moment. I do have Mantessa. One moment.
Yeah, I like that. I like that mount right there. As soon as I saw
Mhm.
it, to me, I was like, okay, that'll go in my world for sure. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's just a big old dinosaur that I could, or whatever. You could almost use it for whatever you wanted to.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and this is coming from a fantasy novelization
Right.
and graphic novel, but you could see a herd of these things hanging out on Endor, right?
Yeah.
You could see
Mhm.
you could see Ewoks riding these, but
And
this is
go ahead.
I was gonna say this is here's some more of Gordon's figures. If you're into 5 POA and you're into something a little more collectible friendly, something a little more artistic, this is his Mantessa, his very
Yes.
advanced his sculpts. I mean, he makes my stuff look like Happy Meal
Oh,
toys.
man. I don't
But
need another toy line to collect, but
and then
Yeah.
this is arguably Gordon's best work here, in my opinion. They're all amazing, but this is his cursed armor. This is
nice.
a love letter to Dark Souls,
Oh yes.
Elden Ring, all printed and painted by him. This is a resin toy, so you're gonna have fair
Yeah.
joints. But Gordon's actually working up a whole nother wave of these right now. So if you're interested in that, talk to Gordon. He'll get you set up with these. But if you're into fantasy or even a nice armor backdrop for your station, something that maybe the huts are smuggling in and out, something that might be haunted, you're not going to find better than this. And I challenge you to find something sculpted better than this by Hasbro. This is an intense sculpt.
Mhm.
Yeah, that looks pretty good, man.
So
Gordon,
don't
good
just
work,
buy my
Gordon.
stuff. Buy his stuff.
Yeah, good work, Gordon. Good work.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love to see people's creations, and see their work because, it's cool to get Star Wars stuff by Hasbro and stuff like that, but it's
Sure.
also cool to see what other people do as well. You know, yeah,
Yes, Joel,
so
you do need to tear down
Well,
Star
well,
Wars stations.
no.
You
Hang
do need
on.
to. Yes,
Why can't Joel have both a Starboy station and a Starboy castle?
because he will need to take out a second mortgage. That's why.
Okay, fair
well,
enough.
let me take. So here's the thing. We were toying around with this about a month ago or whatever. We like science fantasy, science fiction, but we were like, there's not really a whole lot of fantasy stuff out there,
No.
and it's
Mhm.
like, Boss Fight makes some, right? So it's like they're probably one of the, I'd say, leaders as far as like making, that stuff. And so it's like, we need more fantasy stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the science fiction world I
Sure.
got there, but I mean, I would love to have a fantasy world too. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh,
Yeah.
so,
absolutely.
and
Or
some of that
even
Um,
like
stuff
a
you could merge.
Sword and Planets kind of thing, like a Flash Gordon or Thunder the
yeah,
Barbarian, where you mix fantasy with sci-fi and stuff.
absolutely.
You know.
Yeah. If you are into that, Jesse does run some night molds for Knights of the Slice.
Oh,
They're fantasy knights, so he's got some of those, and he's got his new pirate figure is going to be debuting sometime. I'd say September, maybe October, but it's around the corner. It'll be his love letter to piracy and swashbuckling knights. So that's
oh,
coming. But
cool.
And
um,
what is that called?
that will be it's just through Knights of the Slice, but the character is going to be called Cray Drake, and that will be through the Sea of Daggers campaign. Will be
Oh,
his
that's what
newest.
Sea Daggers is what I was trying to
Yeah,
get.
so
Yeah.
that's his newest thing. His nomenclature for everything gets very confusing after a while.
Yeah.
But
That's-
there was rumor for fantasy. There was a poll, I think two maybe 3 years ago now, through Final Faction's Instagram, and they asked, when Final Faction is done, what would you like to see next? And it was just like a 95% vote. People voted we want a fantasy toy line at Dollar Tree. And if they would put out a $1 knight that I can build at a Dollar Tree, and just like how they handled Final Faction, I would be a pig in shit. I think that would be so fantastic to have a nice budget fantasy toy line that's easily accessible.
oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
But
there's
Oh,
really a
a
budget
man can
any
dream.
line these days,
Yes. Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
we have. I mean, there's a lot of science fiction stuff going right now, so it's like, I would think that fantasy would work. You know what I'm saying? Because they've definitely the Final Faction has been out long enough where I think they feel they've been established to get stuff to people who ever wanted it.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of, I don't know if it's ran its course, but I would definitely think you could change it to fantasy now, and that would be a good resting spot for the science fiction stuff, and put out fantasy for a while until you may went back to fantasy again.
Right. And a lot of those alien molds they have, they're so weird and strange. You paint those things up in like a molten lava or like a black and red type deal.
Yeah, they
Those things, they could work as like some kind of elemental or demon for knights to fight so easily.
Exactly. Yeah, if they need to save some money on tooling and
oh my gosh. Or like, they had all this amazing accessory packs. Well, just make a few swords and clubs and shit and give me a bow and arrow and I'm good to go.
yeah, or just some like snap-on armor. I think like one of the packs they had was like some sort of like jetpack suit that had some like armor on the front, and just take the jetpack part off and
I don't think they need to tool a bunch of new stuff. I think a lot of that could be done through some retooling, but I want to see, I would love just to get a basic knight, some swappable helmets, some swords. I mean, for what you got for $1, Final Faction was tough to beat. And I know people don't love 5 POA, but find me another store you can walk into with shelves full of a toy line that's affordable. They don't exist.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a great custom fodder. If you need pieces for stuff, I mean, I hacked it up and used it on my stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like even if like I probably have $20 or $30 worth of Final Faction stuff, and have I done anything with a lot of it? Probably not most of it, but I have it in case I want to do something with it. And I've in the world a couple times with background stuff or something like that. But it's like, I mean, you just can't beat the price on that for
no. And I've never met a person that picked it up and was like, oh, I hate this.
Right, right.
It's $1.
Yeah.
You can't get a can of Coke for that.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a great point about Go Native Toys Kickstarter. Thank you for posting that. I completely forgot. Check that Kickstarter out. I will be backing that. I got to see what the tiers are like, and if I have the finances after the block sword drop tonight, I will be backing that thing in full, because dwarves do not get the love they deserve, let alone in 1/18 scale.
Well, I think that did you guys see the Dungeons and Dragons movie?
Yeah.
The new one with one of the Chris
Pine.
Yeah, Pine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. That one was really good.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, I like and I don't know exactly what the numbers that it made or whatever, but everybody I know who saw it said they loved it. And so I know the budgets are super humongous on most of the movies they make these days, but to me, I think that was a good movie. My son's like 14. Well, he was 14 when he watched it, and he's like, he loves it. It's like we watched it like 2 or 3 times, and I know that the action figures don't always translate because of movies stuff like that, but I think there's always room for science fiction stuff, and I think there's always room for fantasy stuff, because you've got people that are in both those worlds, and so anyway, I would like to see more fantasy stuff personally.
I would too. I think we're in a real fantasy drought. I mean, a good gauge of that, I always say, if people are like, what's popular right now, look at Lego. If you don't collect Lego, or if you don't love it, that's okay. But it's a good litmus test of what's popular. And the space stuff is doing incredibly well. And I hope that it does so well that maybe we see a renaissance of the classic castle theme come back. That would be excellent.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Black Falcons make a return.
Oh my, give me them.
Back in the day, those were my jam. Oh, the Fright Nights too. Yeah,
I love those when I was
with those like Batwing helmets that they had. Those were awesome.
And these guys show up in like the collector packs or whatever, like little $5 figures. But like, let me get another shot at a Fright Night castle or like a dungeon or something. I want more stuff like that. But the only one I think that's still holding true to fighting the good fight for fantasy is Playmobil, that everybody overlooks. And I don't really collect a lot of it. I admire it. But they got some crazy stuff right now for fantasy. And like Schleich, that German company, they do a lot of great, they don't have much articulation, if any, like dragons and all kinds of creatures and stuff. But, good look. Yeah, the minifigure line is D&D. I forgot about that.
They do. That's the next little, the minifigure line in that box. the one, I think the one before last was the space. I guess the sort of space that had like aliens and stuff like that in it. But yeah, the fantasy line, that one looks pretty cool too. And I was like, because I don't really collect Lego, like per se, but it's like I'll get a few sets here and there, and I might set something back, that I'll get. And so I've got a couple of the space ones, the new space ones, and one of them is pretty much like the dome, the space compound order, where it's like
is that the science lab?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I haven't put it together yet because I've just been sitting on it because I was like waiting for like a rainy day because I was like, I do kind of get sometimes a little bored with this whole thing right over there.
Sure.
And to me, I was like, hell, I would create something else and put the the space Legos in. I try to match it up if I could, in Yamato 6, because from some kind of weird storyline or something, and everybody looks like Legos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
But
I love dudes could be like little space gnomes.
There you go. Yeah. So like I said, I'm really digging the space line they have right now. I like the I guess the spaceships or the shuttles or whatever. And I like this fixed wheeled. I don't know what you'd call it, but I'd say the truck for a better word. But it's got like 6 wheels on it, and to me, it's like freaking awesome.
That whole line is so great, and it's such a nice return to see a company do original stuff and not just be an IP licensing machine.
Right.
Because that's what everything else it seems is, unless you collect City.
They have. It's like they have a huge chunk that's their licensing stuff. I mean, you can definitely see it, Star Wars and all the other lines.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I do like you said, when they make their own stuff, and so, but anyway, yeah, I like that. I wouldn't mind seeing some fantasy stuff come around too. I like the Lord of the Rings stuff that they put out, so many years ago,
yeah.
I wasn't at the time. I wasn't collecting, but I'm a huge Tolkien fan. I love everything about Lord of the Rings. Like that's just such a soft spot in my heart. But some of those sets now on the secondary market
I know.
insane.
Sure.
I mean,
all Lego sets get insane.
They appreciate it better than some stock market stuff did. It's crazy.
Yeah.
One thing about Lego is you can if you wanted to, you could buy some stuff and sit on it, and it's almost guaranteed to go up in price once it's out of production,
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, hacks. Yeah, they're good.
Boss fight stuff is nice, but man, it does get pricey. But there's some nice stuff they're putting out, but the newer stuff, it just keeps it goes up and up in price, and I understand that. I get it can be expensive, and it's expensive to tool that stuff, but man, it's
the hacks fantasy stuff, I guess what I was talking about earlier was it's pretty good, man. It looks pretty good. I know it's not acid rain high, but it is more than your vintage collection figure, or something like your epic Marvel Epic Series, figure, something like that. But I mean, where else are you going to get it? You know what I'm saying?
Nobody else is doing it, other than like Knights of the Slice puts them out. But Jesse's stuff is on such short rotation that you might not see Knights for a while.
Right.
But I think if you are into Fantasy Knights, I want to say he has a Knight Troop builder up in his store right now. But buy my stuff first. Go to his after. But I think he has one of his like a Templar or something. It looks like it's like a white knight with a yellow visor. So
yeah,
Gordon is also very correct. Chatmai's fantasy line from back in the day, very affordable on eBay and insane, crazy sculpts. Gordon just sent me 2 orcs from them, and those sculpts are insane. I can't wait to shoot some of those.
Seeing like a few years back, there was some sort of like Dragon Knights line from Chatmai and like
I think
Big
it
Lots
was Toys
stores and whatnot.
It started Toys R Us, and I think they moved into Big Lots. But
yeah, the sculpts on those were just really nice.
You'll never see anything like that today. I don't know what it's that company is so strange. I love everything they put out.
I wish you could find more of it on the shelf.
I think about that all the time. Stuff from Chatmay. They have that the acid line. That thing's been in development hell for a year. Where's that at? To be completely transparent, those drone robots that they showcased was the inspiration for me to start doing my own troopers. I was like, what? No one else is putting out drones. They're never getting around to it, but they sure got pictures of them. Fuck it, I'll do it.
I keep looking for those drones, and
I
nowhere
every
in the
Dollar
States.
General I go to, I'm like, are they here yet? No, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm at the point right now, I'm not even looking for it because I'll wait until people start posting it online. Because that's because it's like I'll know then, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody in the world, it'll be like an alarm going off that, the Chatmay robots, the acid line is out. It's out. It's out. It's gonna be like
that's true.
The town, people announcing it, and so I heard that they were pretty much saying that last year it was going to be pretty much, a release for not the United States, and that
it was the Asia market
was going to be potentially winter, supposedly, when we were going to get a lot of that stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just tired of I guess not looking for it or not finding it, and so I'm just going to put a pin in that stuff until
exactly.
And so
I agree. That's the best way to do it. I have that sixth sense of false hope that I'm always like, yep, I'm gonna stumble in. I'll be the first one to find it in this podunk town south of Pittsburgh. They'll have it. They'll be sure to have it here.
First one. Somebody's gonna be the first person that stumbles on it, what I'm saying?
Now, supposedly the acid versus beta stuff came out at some like Army PX bases.
Oh yeah.
Of course it did. Why of all the places for it to turn up?
Oh
why wouldn't it?
It's like the smallest market you can get.
Yeah,
we're there.
I don't know if this is a stupid thought process on that, but I think maybe that might be the case because those are almost like foreign. You know what I'm saying?
Foreign market distribution. That would be my assumption as well.
Yeah.
The other one that really gets my goat a lot is Lennard. Like the core stuff.
Yeah, where have they been?
They just posted they're supposed to have a bunch of it in stock on Amazon. This, every time they post something, I blow up their Instagram. I love cheap, affordable dollar store toys. That's my favorite. So anytime they post something, I'm hammering on those guys, and I'm like, is this going to be on Amazon? When is it? Are you going to have troop builder packs? Are they going to be individuals? Are they going to be base sets? You have to buy like 10 figures at a time, which for what you get for like $20, it's highway robbery. I mean, you're getting awesome stuff, and it's fun. And I get it's not everybody's cup of tea. These are children's toys, but I think that stuff is infinitely more interesting and more fun and more ingenuitive than the 1003 paint of a Death Watch Mandalorian. And I get there's pushback on that, and I'm the minority. I get it.
I will take any Mandalorian in any colorway if they make it. I'm just
unique colorway.
They're making it for me, but anybody else. But I get it.
That's fine. I like seeing those weird sculpted soldiers and toys and like stuff that it's like this is only $3. Incredible. Just the extreme affordability I think is so fun.
Yeah, I mean it's like you can use that. You can use that in your world too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not all got to be the same line.
No, and hack the head off that thing. It was $3. Put a Rhodian, put a Rhodian head on it, or something else. But
let's see here.
Getting to kind of round back to something Javelin said earlier that I think would be an interesting topic here, talking about Western fantasy lines. Supposedly, I was gonna say supposedly, our Chicken Fried Toys is working on something called their like Weird West tales to go along with their Dime Novel Legend figures. So those, I don't know which will come out first or if ever Joy Toy gets into that, but
Joy Toy does a Western based fantasy line that. Like Sword and Sorcery, like I could totally see them doing like a Robin Hood 5-pack, like when they used to do the World War II 5-packs and stuff. That would be really sick. That would be fantastic.
Hey Bob, you could float the idea to Eagle Force. They could put out a fantasy character, man.
Let's go. Yeah. Take my money, but they'll probably put out in 112 because it looks like Eagle Force is done with 118.
No, they're not done yet. They've still got some stuff. they did when they did their panel at Joe Fest. They highlighted, hey, we've got more 118 coming.
Oh, awesome!
As long as it can hit the like minimum order, like
Orders.
pre-order numbers. Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, because
there's more coming, and they do have a bit of that. Some of their figures have a bit of that kind of like Sword and Planet or sci-fi fantasy combo mix going on, especially with those like cool bubble helmets.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff.
And
That's so much fun.
But yeah, I'll mention to them. Not that they take my advice all the time, but I'll mention.
You
fantasy.
Got a stockholder share in that company, Bob. Come on.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I've bought a few figures. There's people that have more than me. Trust me.
Yeah, I've seen some of those orders come in. But yeah, we're just joking about that. But so I mean, just make one figure. You know what I'm saying? Just ease into it. You don't have to make the whole line. Just ease into it. One figure. But like I said, I think there is demand there for fantasy. But whatever. I mean, it's.
Well, and fantasy also gives you a lot of leeway on like making stuff, like coming up with like character concepts and new races and new kind of creatures and stuff. So,
and
what if we had an alien fantasy line? You know what I'm saying? Like, how cool would that be?
Well, and the nice thing from a production standpoint that fantasy gets you is you can reuse parts just as easily as Marvel Legends does with Hasbro. I mean, infinite reuse of molds. You can paint that plate mail torso 85 different colors, and I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, it's like I said. I think there is some room in the market for those type of figures too.
Oh yeah. Well, especially now when there's like a deficit of them, it's like right now you've only got pretty much boss fight for like modern articulation fantasy figures. If somebody else brought something even like halfway there,
the only one I can think of that's even remotely in that ballpark, and it's not, it's fantasy adjacent. It's that ninja line that was fulfilled through Kickstarter on Big Bad, but for the life of me, I can't remember.
Legends of the Hidden Force. Is that what you're talking about?
The O-ring line. Yeah. They looked great. The O-ring renaissance has been chef's kiss if you're into that stuff. It's been so nice. The stuff Delta 17 put out's been great.
Yeah, the only problem I have with a lot of the new O-ring stuff is it's been like 2 years for some of them, and they
some
still
of
haven't
them
fulfilled.
They are in Kickstarter hell.
Yeah.
It's too much fun to, like another one's like Marauders, and I know they're going to come through, but it's been almost 3 years.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that I know there's small companies that got to deal with.
Please get that man his figure, please.
Yes. And Chicken Fried Toys, if you're watching, and I'm sure you are, get Joel his figures now.
Yes, that's right. Please.
And Bjorn.
Get those damn cowboys to these people.
Yeah.
Well, Brett, you got anything else? You got anything you want to push right quick before we?
The only thing I got to say is Blockzor is live on the store. Infantry is there. We might have a few of the atomic prototypes left from the last release. They might be gone. I'm not sure. I haven't checked stocks on it, but check that out. If anyone's interested in the Gateway you saw, definitely pick some of those up. And then we were talking about fantasy briefly. This is going to be the first, line. This is going to be our little robot, Gobtron. Nice. So it's going to cross fantasy with my robotic interests. But yeah, they're not doing fantasy lines. Maybe we'll do something. Maybe I'll start making some mechanical fantasy. But if not, it fits in.
Those guys. Bob, what about yourself? You got anything that you want to push?
That's really new. Since last week, just made some more Instagram posts, got some more videos in the works that are not necessarily toy related, but in the works. Just dropped last week that one about the Playmo exhibition. So if you're into plastic model kits, you'll probably really enjoy that.
That neon Godzilla or Mecha Godzilla.
Oh yeah, that one was that. Whoever did that was just brilliant. That was just
I love like
Brilliant.
crossovers like that. Well, Brett, thank you for coming on the
Thanks for being
show.
on.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a blast. I appreciate you just, talking all my shit up for like over an hour. But yeah, I really appreciate having you guys having me on and supporting me. And Brian, thanks for always, being in my corner when I got new releases and hyping me up, man. I love having the conversations with you that we do. I really appreciate it, brother.
Well, I thank you, man. I really like seeing this side of like how stuff gets made, and I like seeing, I just like seeing new stuff come out.
Oh yeah.
And to me, it's like I world build, so it's all world building. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, it's to me, it's for me. I don't say it's for me specifically, but it's definitely in my wheelhouse of what I like
No,
to see.
it is for you. It's for the guys that are world building that they want set dressing droids. They want something they've never seen before, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Mhm.
You can get a stormtrooper for 784 with 5 POA, but you're not going to find a block Zor on the shelf.
That's
That's
right.
articulated that can hold
Right.
his gun well. You're just not
That's
going to
right.
find it. So
So anyway, yes.
Thank you.
You for coming on, Brett.
yeah,
We'll not be doing a show next week. It might be the week after next, but we'll post it next week probably. But anyway, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down.
Before we do, let me say one thing. Thank you to everybody that came out in the chat. Thank
yeah.
you for
Thanks,
everybody
guys.
that watches this later. We
Yes.
love you all. Thank you for your support.
Yes. Yeah, the replay watching is just as good as watching right now. So,
Oh yeah.
but anyway,
And if you like what you've been seeing, feel free to give that like button a little click there.
yeah.
It helps out on the YouTube algorithms.
Block prototype has sold out.
If you want one, I'll make more. But for the
All right.
time being, infantry
You heard it
variants all I
there.
got.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Bob, Brett, you guys have a good rest of your weekend.
Oh, you too. And thank you again, Brett, for coming on.
Take care, gentlemen. Thank you.
See you guys next time.
See you.
Yep.